Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I've got two indicators from on-chain data analysis that one is flagging a buy signal and the second one is about to flag a buy signal. These indicators are purely based on what's going on with the network of Bitcoin. Historically, they have been pretty accurate. They are worth a look to keep in your data set so you can make better informed decisions for the medium term. Let's go with the first indicator. This is a very cool chart. It's based on the number of unique addresses that appear for the first time in a Bitcoin transaction. This shows that new people are joining into the network. You can find this information directly when you search by BTC_new addresses on TradingView. The problem is when you load this information, it doesn't really look much meaningful. So there are two things that I do to understand better this data. I pull in two MAs, and one is based on the yearly and the green one is based on the monthly. On 2017, you can see here that there is a very important bearish cross of the 30 below the yearly, and that has flagged the beginning of the bear market. We got a very similar signal here in May of 2021. That's where the majority of the new joiners into the Bitcoin network started dropping dramatically. In other words, there was way less interest in Bitcoin compared to before. We did have here a dead cat bounce that trapped a few more bulls right before entering into full bear territory. In 2018, we had three interesting bounces. After the third bounce, we finally managed to get the 30 above the yearly, and that was a movement of almost 300%. And many people believe that Bitcoin is experiencing diminishing returns. So that means that if we flag on this signal a bullish crossover, which I'm expecting to happen around the 12th of October if the trend continues in the same direction, we could say that 100% is on the table, but 300% is less possible given that Bitcoin is subject to these diminishing returns. As you can see in the chart, there are also some fake outs, sometimes where the 30 crosses above the yearly, but it doesn't necessarily constitute the beginning of a bull market. The same goes with bearish signals. You can have some fake outs as well. So as you can see, I have set an alert for when the monthly is crossing up the yearly. I also have an alert for when there's a cross down, although that's going to take a long time to happen. Before we move on to the next indicator, I have amazing news. I'm going to give away to 3 winners 3 months of Picnic tier for free. The Picnic tier gives you access to the majority of my indicators, including the ones that you're seeing in this video. How can you win these 3 months of Picnic? Very easy. You just need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write a comment explaining whether you think the signals that we are reviewing in this video are going to be a fake out, or if you think they're actually going to play out. The second analysis is inspired by one done by Crypto Crew University. I encourage you to have a look at his channel. I have made a few alterations to the original approach that we're going to run into. This is also based on-chain data analysis. The network value transaction ratio is pretty similar to the PE ratio used in equity markets. When NVT is high, it indicates that its network valuation is outstripping the value being transmitted on his payment network. This can happen when the network is in high growth and investors are valuing it as a high return investment. Alternatively, when the price is in a sustainable bubble. To be able to see this data on TradingView, I'm using one of my indicators, TTP Volatility NVT, which has 3 modes. The first mode just shows NVT. The second mode shows the NVT, but plot on top of the HV volatility indicator, and it can also be plot on top of normalized ATR, which is also an indicator of volatility. Crypto Crew University uses HV to display this indicator, and what he's looking after is for areas that are green. The areas that are green correspond to when the network is very healthy in terms of network value transaction ratio. You can see that right now we're crossing about the threshold where the network starts becoming really healthy. If we plot this on top of HV volatility, we can see that we are at an area of low volatility. And the way that Crypto Crew University is doing the analysis of this chart is that every time the network becomes healthy from an area of low volatility, we get a bull run. Like for example here, where Bitcoin goes massively bullish, or this area there from 2018, which flags the end of the bear market. You can see also some small movements when the network goes into green. There is some pullback. When it goes back into red, we've been in red since May. And just now, mid-September, the network started going back into the green. If we look at the same same data, but now using the normalized ATR, we can see how low is the volatility since around March. This is basically saying that most of the volatility occur in this area of Bitcoin, and all these movements have been very mild in terms of volatility. What we want to see in this chart is a movement where we go higher in volatility, but at the same time, the NVT ratio is in the green. In other words, is staying in the healthy area of the network. Same in 2018, when we were very shallow in terms of volatility and we started increasing the volatility with a healthy network in green, then we had our bull run. Currently, we are in the green, and this all day has been flipping from red to green. If this closes in green, and it starts coming up, we're going to have another confirmation that a bull run is in the process of building up. For that, we need the NVT ratio to stay above this threshold. And at the same time, we need to start seeing more volatility. To look at volatility, I use specifically this chart where I have the NATR in the chart, the Bollinger Bands with the normalized ATR and the HB all in the single chart. If we just focus on the Bollinger Bands width, we are at the lowest level of volatility since around October 2020. There's never ever been so low volatility in the Bollinger Band width, and this is on the daily. On NATR and HB, we're also below thresholds of very low volatility, and you know what that means. Low volatility usually means that there is going to be a squeeze momentum, an impulsive move, and that can be in any direction. But starting to see that the network is showing some strength is starting to increase little by little the chances that that move might not necessarily be another dump. In fact, it could become a pump. There can be some fake outs, so this is not the signal to go all in, but still it's good to keep an eye on these indicators and not just focus on a single source of data like TA, fundamental, or global news. Also to keep an eye on actually what's happening behind the scenes with the network. I think that's something that we cannot ignore. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.